All right, guys, welcome back. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create some sections. This is going to be section 1. These first few questions are just going to be section 1s, and the question is, what does M stand for, and what does B stand for? If you look up at those signs, you can probably figure it out. Let's talk about the second section, which is going to start with number 3. Section 2 is going to be from a table. Okay, section 2 is going to be from a table. In order to write the equation that matches this table, you need two things. When x equals 0, what is y? That's question 1. That's going to be your b. That's going to be your constant. That's going to be the one that sits at the end of the sentence. And then the next one is you're going to need slope, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, where your equation looks like this. Your slope is with the variable x. Your b is at the end plus or minus b. Okay? Let's turn the page. And we're going to turn it all the way to we get to question 9. 8 and 9 right here. When we get to 9, this is going to be section 3. From a graph. Still have to write the equation. You can see your multiple choice answers. We have to write the equation from the graph. B is where the graphed, G-R-A-P-H-E-D, graphed line crosses the y-axis, and M from a graph, again, this always works, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But the special thing about graphs is you can always create a right triangle from 2 points that fit perfectly on the grid, create your right triangle, and in this case, you can use rise as your denominator over run as your denominator. Rise is your numerator, that is, and run is your denominator, okay? But when you do rise over run, you have to decide, is it going to be positive or negative based on is the line going from left to right? Is this line going from left to right positive or negative? Yeah, it's negative. So I know that my slope is going to be negative. If I know my slope is going to be negative and I need some equations that match this graph, which two can I get rid of? This has a slope of 3, positive 3. That does not work. This has a positive slope of 1/2. That does not work. And we know the line crosses through the y-axis at positive 2. So that's a positive 2. That's a positive 2. All we need to do here is find the slope, which in this case is going to be 2 over 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. We know it's a negative because the line's negative. Our answer is D. Let's move on to the next section. Let's move on to the next section. You're going to go all the way to the end, to the very last page, number 15. This is going to be 4. 4 looks like this, section 4. And these are going to be from words. Okay, now there's 2 parts to this, from words, and I'm just going to grab any one. Remember, let's do Randy charges. So you're going to go through here and you're going to put an X after the words per, each, or every. You're going to circle the numbers and you're going to look between the 2 numbers to see if there's a word that says add or subtract. What word in here says add or subtract? Yeah, plus. Simple. So I've got 425x plus 600. Which one has 425x plus 600b? These are really, really simple. Really simple. Okay. Now, you're going to see this tomorrow, so I want to point it out. Let's go down to number 21, and let's call this section 5. Okay. These are still from words, okay? But if you'll notice, your y equals mx plus b, now your y looks like a c and your m looks like a k. That's okay. Don't freak out, okay? It functions the same way, okay? So instead of y equals mx plus b, this one is saying have c be your total and have k be your, where your x value would be. And you still need to find the slope here and the y-intercept down here. Okay, how do we do that? We go across and we find the words per each and every. We put an X over them, circle the numbers, and we look between these numbers. Which word means add or subtract? Additional means add. Okay? Now, but instead of my x being x, it's actually going to be a k. And instead of my y being y, it's actually going to be a c, which you'll notice all of them start with c equals. So that should help you narrow it down. Which one's with the variable? Which number is with the variable? 8 is with the variable. That goes here. Plus 42 by itself. The answer is A. All right, come back to the beginning. Now, once you've completed all of these, okay, make sure your name is on it. Class period goes here. Once you've completed all these real quick, then you're going to log into this quizzes code, and you're going to put your answers in just as you've completed them on this test until you get to, until you're ready for this test tomorrow. Raise your hand if you have any questions, and I'll come around and help.